Welcome to Awakening You channel. If you appreciate what we do, please support us. Thank you. Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. I came here today to talk to you a little. Honestly, I don't think that much of what I've been saying, much of what I've brought to your attention, is actually being lived and heard. I will never abandon them, because I am not a spoiled child, who when I don't have what I want, I turn my back and act out. My inside is pure unconditional love. So, even though I see the wrong paths that you often take, I don't abandon you. I just observe from afar how far the ego goes speaking in your consciences. Everything I say is with a single objective, it is with the aim of making you walk on a less complicated path, with fewer obstacles, so that you can get there faster, so that you evolve every step, every day. I have said and repeated countless times, you live in a constant seesaw, now you are vibrating high and now you are down there. And it's also worth repeating that the fall is always very quick, now the climb, not always. And it seems like you have forgotten some of that. I've always said here that nothing I do is without ulterior motives. But do not understand these ulterior motives, how you interpret this in your dimension. I'm not cheating anyone and I'm not harming anyone. When I say that everything I do has ulterior motives, it's because there is always some lesson involved. And these are such subtle lessons that, as expected, the vast majority don't understand. You think I'm doing it, just another joke or just doing something to mess with you. I don't have any plans for games. My mission in the universe is to always be one step ahead, it's always about planning things very carefully. So that those who are really ready can understand where I want to go. Many even realize it, but they let their ego impose on them the understanding that, no, I'm seeing things. It's nothing like that, and they let the lesson pass. Those who listen attentively, who follow the path with love, with dedication, perceive the lessons, however subtle they may be. And they walk calmly, paying great attention not to trip. And when you find those big stones on the path, you understand that you need to stop, ask within yourself, what that stone means. And focus your thoughts on that obstacle. And for all this care, you receive the answer. And with a lot of wisdom and learning, he doesn't worry about removing the stone from the path. He starts to focus on a way to overcome it, because it won't stop him from continuing walking. I didn't move away from the group, as many here think. I just know why I do everything I do. And I can tell you, it doesn't matter why, it's my decision. Others are having the chance to speak to you, as they always have. But let's understand, you had intensive training. For years, practically, you were here learning a little every day. But everything has a beginning and an end. And the great teachings, those that make you reflect and change, had already been applied. Then the time came to release the army. It's like a period of training, in which you are confined, exercising, learning, studying, suffering, getting up, falling, getting up again. And at the end of that training, you are soldiers ready for battle. So there is no longer any reason to keep them confined, we will only maintain reinforcement classes, but no more confinement. So I no longer have the need to come here daily, to stay, as you like to say, hitting the same key. This becomes repetitive and boring. And then instead of me attracting more people, you yourselves will get tired of hearing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes, I'm repetitive, because it bothers me to see that you didn't hear what I said. Like what I'm doing here today. I also reflect, because many times, I may be acting in an inappropriate way. Then I stop and reflect on the consequences of what I do. No, don't think that I don't think I'm perfect, because I don't have that superiority of thinking I'm perfect. This is ego. Your ego makes you think about perfection or not. We have strategies, and when the strategy doesn't work, we are very humble in going back and taking a new path. So yes, I keep analyzing where I missed something. I keep going back to everything I said to try to understand where I didn't focus enough for you to understand. As I said a moment ago, I will never abandon you. I could stay here for a month, a year, without saying a word, but I will remain the same, for each of you. This habit that you have acquired, some of you, of always having to listen to be sure that that being is there, it doesn't say anything to me. So if I make the decision today to leave definitively, nothing changes. What changes? Only you will no longer hear my voice? Will they no longer listen to what I say? And everything I already said fell apart, did you erase it from your mind? So why don't I speak here every day? I'm no longer of use. Why don't you listen to what I say every day? Have you abandoned all your training? Ah, I'm not going to keep anything else, he doesn't even see me. Keep thinking like this, because I see each one of you. It's as if I had. I said it here the other day, that little box, in which I look and see each one of you, where your energies are going. And you don't think so, that I turned my back and walked away, I let you go. No, I have no intention of leaving, of moving away from the group, because this would demonstrate, to those outside, a certain weakness. Because human minds think like this, ah, if he doesn't talk anymore, that group is weak. So, for this reason alone, I will keep coming here, to show the humans around, that there is no weakness here. Don't think that by doing this I'm showing off, I have no reason for that either. Once again I say, I'm thinking a little more ahead. You don't know what happens behind the scenes. So, don't try to understand my attitudes. I'm not going to stay here talking about the same thing for a long time. I just wanted to remind you of what I've been saying for some time now. You have to learn to express unconditional love. I agree, and I demand it. I don't want criticism, I don't want anyone pointing fingers at others, no one judging, I don't want that, because this is not loving unconditionally. So respect for others, above all. Be truthful, do not use false statements or false objectives, so as not to tell the truth. The truth, however painful it may be at that moment, leaves no room for comment. Because it is there, lived in and clean. Now the lie is not, if you lie, you will be able to manipulate what was said for a long time. So I demand, yes, that in this group, in this army of mine that I trained, unconditional love, be experienced and that you act as such. This is one point. What is the big lesson in this unconditional love? Yes, there is a lesson. Loving unconditionally is not carrying someone on your lap, not doing everything for the person, not bringing the world to that person's feet. This is not loving, this is forcing the other person to see you as a good person, a wonderful person. So what's there? There is the ego, there is that love that begs, there is that love that asks, that love that exchanges. I give you this, so that you will love me. This is not loving unconditionally, this is begging for love.